everyone, welcome to Dressing Room 6 at the Gillian Lynn Theatre. We are at the end of week 2 of Tech. We ran Act 2 today, it went very well. However, Tech is really hard to film through because I am constantly in costume. And although today a photo of everyone in costume was released by What's on Stage with a statement by Andrew Lloyd Webber to do with COVID and the opening of Cinderella and all that jazz, I have not been able to film in costume because I've not been allowed, which makes filming anything extraordinarily hard when not only you are in costume but everyone's in costume. So not a lot of filming has happened this week. Also, we're in Tech and it's just a busy time. So I thought I'd do a little Cinderella Q&A. I might actually put one more book underneath you. So first of all, I will explain the reason that I'm wearing this lovely headscarf right now is because, I will show you underneath, because underneath I look like this, doodle-doodle-doo. I don't have my my mic packs and my tracker on, as I showed you in my last video. I don't have them on at the moment, but I do have my hair in pin curls. So maybe that's the first question I will answer. How do you put your head wrap on? And there we go, there we have it. I bought this one from a shop around the corner called Pick and Wait for £7. But here we go, let's answer some of your Cinderella themed questions. What made you say yes when you were offered the role? This job has a lot of exciting layers to it. It's a West End show, and a West End show comes with a lot of perks, namely number one being that I live in London and the West End is in London, so it means that I will be able to go home to my own house and my own boyfriend and my own cat and my own home comforts after every show. When you're touring, it's exciting and it's really, really fun to see the rest of the country and lots of cities that you might not have visited before, but after a while you do start to really miss home and just going home to your own bed. So that's definitely a perk of working in the West End. But also, this is a new West End show, so it also comes with a few more perks, like being on the original West End cast recording and originating a West End role. But also, this is not only a new West End show, it's a new Andrew Lloyd Webber musical, and Andrew Lloyd Webber has written some of the greatest musicals ever written, but also one of my favourite musicals of all time is Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. I actually did something for Joseph at the beginning of the year, hence why I have an amazing Technicolor phone case. I got this whilst doing that job. So it's exciting working on a musical that was written by someone who wrote one of my favourite musicals. That's just a very, very cool thing. 7-year-old me, who used to belt along with Lindsay Haitley on the cast recording of Joseph, is very excited right now. And also, the first time that I ever found out that I was going to be involved with Cinderella in some way, I was just recording demos, but I met Emerald for the first time, and she was the one who explained to me the premise of her take on the Cinderella fairy tale, and I was just very much on board from the get-go. I thought it was really fun and just a bit of me. So there were lots of reasons why I said a very big yes with a capital Y when I got the phone call to say they would like you to play Cinderella. Question number 2, is the story close to the fairy tale? It's still got all of the fairy tale moments that you would expect it to have, like there's the stepmother and the stepsisters and the godmother and Prince Charming and there's a ball. I don't know how much I can actually say. But all of those moments have kind of been turned on their heads a little bit. So you will definitely see all of the things that you will expect to see, they just may not take the same form as they have always done. As you're the first person to play this role, do you have any say over the key your songs are written in? I think this all depends on the composer who's writing the songs, and whether they are in the room as you are rehearsing, and whether you're in the room with them as they're writing and changing things. I feel like I've been in a very lucky situation because I have been on this project for so long, and I have been in the room as things have been changed. There have been times when the music team and Andrew Lloyd Webber himself have turned to me and said, how does that sit in your voice and how does that feel when you sing it? I think I've been in a very fortunate and unusual situation because this whole process has been so unusual because of COVID and because COVID did prolong the creative process. So we definitely had more time to fiddle with things. So I'm well aware that this is an unusual thing, but because it is an original musical and because we have had the process we've had, I have been involved in some of those conversations and I have been asked whether the keys are good for me, which is lovely. However, the music team, as you well know, are very good at what they do and I've never had to ask for anything to be any higher or lower. Is Cinderella a brunette? I think I'm allowed to say that yes, she is. She is not the sweet-faced, blonde-haired, singing to woodland creatures type Disney princess that we have always known. In this version, she has very, very dark brown hair with some blue and pink streaks in it. Does your wig give you a headache? I am definitely not used to having my mic packs in my wig. Usually my mic packs, which are about this big, do I have them in the room? I do have them in the room. The mic packs are about this big and I have 2 of them and a tracker which is much smaller. The tracker's about that big. My tracker is here. That is my tracker. My tracker is that big. So I am definitely not used to having these in my wig. Usually they would be in a mic belt, which is like a big elasticated bit of fabric with 2 little pouches in it, like these pouches, and they would sit sort of on my back around my waist. However, this time around, everything is in my wig, which I actually prefer because then everything is here, up and out of the way. There's no wires that trail down my back. Mic belts as well have a tendency to like either ride up or ride down, and they're just secured by Velcro, and sometimes after a few months when the Velcro gets sort of worn away, it'll like pop open halfway through a show. And I do have a quick change and I do have, you know, bits of costume that need to come on and off, and so not having to worry about my mic when all of that is happening is just the best and I'm really enjoying it. However, the first day that I had everything under my wig, it was a lot of pins, securing everything in place, and I just wasn't used to it and it did start to sort of ache. And especially because we're in tech at the moment, so we are doing like 10, 11 hour days, and I was in all of that for that period of time. So by the end of the day I was like, oh, it's all starting to get a little bit tender. But that being said, it didn't give me a headache. It was just a lot of pins, a lot of pins. How do you feel about opening at 50% capacity? It is such a shame that we're not able to open Cinderella in the way that a show like this should be able to open. However, I would much rather open at 50% capacity than not open at all. I think at this point, for me personally, and I'm sure so many other people who have been involved in this project for so long, for me it's been 2 years and I just want to get in front of an audience, and even if that audience is half full, I'd much rather that than no audience at all. Is it exciting or more pressure to be the first person to play this Cinderella? I think there's less pressure in originating a role. This is the first time that I've done it. I've been the first person in the UK to play certain roles. I was the first person in the UK to play Wednesday Addams and Veronica Sawyer in Heathers, and that came with a lot of pressure because the internet exists. People from the UK had still heard the original actresses sing on the cast recording and how they sing those songs, and had seen bootlegs and TV performances and things like that, and so there was an expectation about how I would then play those roles, and there was kind of judgment if I changed anything. Whereas Cinderella, literally no one has ever played this part, so anything I do isn't being compared to anyone else. And also it's great because if I make a mistake, no one will know, because no one will know that it's not meant to be like that. So it comes with, I don't know, I feel zero pressure doing this job. I feel like I'm literally living my best life and sort of fulfilling lots of childhood dreams with this job. So I'm literally just having the best time. Describe Cinderella's fashion sense in 3 words. Does not exist. I don't think she has a fashion sense. I kind of joke that so much of her costume looks like it's been stolen from other people's costume in the show, because I wear this apron that's made out of the fabric that all of the female ensemble wear in the opening number, but mine's all like crumpled and like skew-iff, and it literally looks like she's stolen the fabric off of one of those girls' dresses, and my bag looks like it belongs to one of the male ensemble. I guess the 3 words for Cinderella would be couldn't care less. She couldn't care less what she looks like. That is the least of her worries and concerns. Is there a moment in the show where you find it hard to keep a straight face? Victoria Hamilton Barrett is maybe one of the most naturally funny people I've ever been on stage with. Sometimes she just makes a face, or like raises an eyebrow, or purses her lips, or just says a line in a certain tone, and I'm like, oh my god, I need to just keep breathing and focus on my breathing, because I will laugh. I will laugh. What colour do you associate with this version of Cinderella? Green. I have spent the last 3 years, 2 years, 3 years, 3 years since 2017 in blue. All the roles that I played wore blue. Even Wednesday Addams had a blue dress. It was like dark blue velvet. Fontaine wore blue. Beth from War of the Worlds wore blue. Veronica wore blue. I've just literally spent the last 3 years in blue, and Cinderella is the one to break that with her gorgeous green jacket. I've got the most amazing green jacket. Ooh, and I love it so much. And I want it because I genuinely would wear it in real life. And green is also my favourite colour, so I am very pleased that the character to break my streak of blue wears my favourite colour. My little girls, Alice and Annie, want to know if you still wear glass slippers. I don't know if I'm allowed to tell you this, but I'm going to tell you anyway. And this might not make the final cut of the video if I'm told to cut it out, but yes, I still wear very sparkly glass slippers. In fact, they're not even glass, they're crystal. They are crystal slippers. So yes, Alice and Annie, there are still glass slippers in the show. And finally, someone has asked the question that I asked some of the cast in my last Cinder Sunday video. And that question is, what would your signature dance move be to win your Prince Charming at the ball? Maybe I would do like a version of Big Fish, Little Fish, but to suit Cinderella, maybe. I could do some Cinderella themed moves in there, I don't know what they'd be. Okay, so we go Big Fish, Little Fish, cardboard box, transformation, transformation, royal ball, I know I have a heart because you broke it. That would be my dance. So there we go. Thank you so much for all of your questions. I promise I will try and film some more stuff as we near opening night on the 25th, which is a week today as I film this. It's a week today as I film this. And I will see you next time.